What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Joni Mitchell. And once again, and as always, thank you to Nikola and to Mark and others who've been part of this journey. And we're continuing through Ladies of the Canyon 1970, and the next track is The Priest. I note the use of the definite article the. Now that could just be, it's the only priest in this situation or in this vicinity, so it feels like that may be less significant than my brain keyed in on it. But at the same time, a priest, of course, can be more righteous or more unscrupulous. A priest can be more holy and genuine, or they can be self-serving and self-righteous. I feel like, a priest can be a lot of different things in different contexts. And of course, it might not literally be a priest. It could be, a priest in terms of, preaching about something or giving a homily. Like, I could see how these things could be metaphors. I'm inclined to see it as more literal and on the surface, but of course it is just a two-word phrase. It is merely a designation of a noun, and thus I wonder what this priest will be doing, who they are talking to, and or what they are saying. Let's see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is Joni Mitchell. The song is The Priest, and it's from her 1970 album, Ladies of the Canyon, though once again, this is the 2021 remaster.
Sat in the airport bar, he was wearing his father's tie, and his eyes looked into my eyes so far whenever the words ran dry. Behind the lash and the circles blue, he looked as only a priest can through, and his eyes said said you, and my eyes said let us try. He said, you wouldn't like it here, no, it's no place you should share. The roof is ripped with hurricanes and the room is always bare. I need the wind and I seek the cold. He reached past the wine for my hand to hold, and he saw me young and he saw me old, and he saw me sitting there. Took his contradictions out and he splashed them on my brow. So which words was I then to doubt when choosing what to vow? Should I choose them all? Should I make them mine? The sermons, the hymns, and the valentines? And he asked for truth, for time, and he asked for only now. Now the trials are trumpets scored, oh will we pass the test? Or just as one loves more and more, will one love less and less? Oh come, let's run from this ring we're in, where the Christians clap and the Germans grin. Say, let them lose, cry and let them win. Oh, make them both confess.
fascinating songwriter. It's like, even when I'm hearing all the words and I feel like I'm immersed in this scene, I struggle to put it all together. So okay, like first we're in, what was it, like, I don't know if it was an airport bar. It was like a bar somewhere, and it's like they're looking at each other and they're, it sounds like she's seeing a lot in his eyes even when he's not talking, and then he's saying you wouldn't like it here, and it's like almost like suddenly the scene changes. It's like, the roof, like, it's, what was it, I forget the phrasing, but it sounds like, there's holes in the roof or something, and the room is bare. And so then it's like, wait, are we like in the bar still, or are we like suddenly in his humble abode or something? And there's a moment where I was like, oh wait, is this kind of like there's a bit of an attraction, or a bit of like, oh, maybe we could be something? And then he's saying no, like, you wouldn't like it. Like, it just felt like maybe there was a metaphor for like, there was a temptation afoot or something. But then it feels like, no, wait, like, she's saying like, he took out his contradictions and splashed them across my brow, or whatever the line is. And it's like, oh, so is this like a philosophical, theological discourse? And they're like, he wants to know the truth, and they're, speaking to the hymns and the homilies, or the, the scriptures and so on. And it suddenly seems like this is about like, what is true is, belief, but if your beliefs are contradictory, like, what does that say about like, what you're holding up as being like ontologically valid? It felt like it was, a dialogue or a discourse, but that he was like saying, coming to her for answers, or that he was at the very least open to what her perception of the truth was. And that line about the brow, it always makes me think of, what is it, the I but put this brow before you, read it if you can, the Moby Dick line. So, which, there's kind of like a, postmodern turn to that, and it's like basically saying like, can you read this text for more than it is on the surface? So yeah, like it felt like there was something similar happening here, but I really don't know how it all stitches together, or where exactly it's taking place, and what the priest and the narrator are really seeking to get out of this. So a fascinating tune, I will say. Like, very simple arrangement, and yet there were times where I was like, that has to be two acoustic guitars, right? Like, surely that, and I love the like deeper, like pulsing chords. It really had this like intensity to it, and it would kind of come in these waves where it would get more intense, and then that would kind of peter out a little bit, and the higher, more like, strummed or like melodic guitar line really came to the fore, and then the like intense, like lower chords would stand out again. So yeah, like there was a lot happening dynamically with the guitar, singular, maybe plural. I wouldn't put it past Joni to have played all of what I heard, but there were points where it's really like, surely that's two guitars. But having said that, it's still a very minimal arrangement, and it allowed me to focus on her vocals, which again, there's just a magic to her vocals. There was a moment where she kind of like, it seemed like she let it like drop heavy and like drop off very quickly, and that like there was kind of like a cinematic, or a very dramatic feel to that. But in general, her vocals are, in the area where I've come to expect them. But my point is, like, the minimal sonic arrangement, it really had me focusing on the story, and yet I still don't quite know what I heard. So looking forward to any insights on this one. But another really cool tune from Joni. She is an artist. I think that does absolutely come across, so I'm looking forward to more. And it is interesting, I just started going through Leonard Cohen's material, and the previous song, and I think there was one before that, was like something about a gallery. I'm blanking on the name, but I am thinking about him and Joni as I start going through his music, and I get it, like both of them will have songs that are about other people, or just drawn from characters and so on. But I just have to note that, like, as I've started going through Leonard Cohen's material, I can't help but think of that connection. So in any case, let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.